Wallace, Burton, Gregson,
No holds barred.
Massey, Wilson, Griffin,
Winner take all.
Pollard, Chandler, Thorne,
September 8th.
Brock, Campbell, Braden,
Lucas Oil Raceway.
Dillbeck, Doss, Oakley. The inaugural All-Star race for super late models. Second place is the first loser. Watch the pay-per-view video stream of the winner take all Speed 51 Super Select. Saturday, September 8th, live on speed51.com. Go to speed51.com/51 Super Select and order yours today. It's no holds barred.
We're about to go green. 200 laps is the distance. Brandon Watson in the 9 on the outside. Carson Hocevar on the inside. History in the making, race fans. Everybody clean through turns 1 and 2. Still double file back through the field. Cole Powell thought about making it 3 wide, sticking it up the middle. He lifted for just a second. Brandon Watson going to lead lap number 1. It's a different feel when you've got all of these A-list race car drivers. Only one of them can lead the race at a time, folks, and they are stacked up. Trayton Lapsevich in the 32. Halfway through this field on the outside of the yellow 23 of Sean McGlynn. Now he's working the black 35 of Ramstrom. Brian Campbell in that other 47 machine as they duke it out on the racetrack. Pretty much everyone's single file. As I say that, Brian Campbell drives up the inside of Jordan Sims down through 3 and 4. Campbell down low in that black 47. Sims in the white 47. Looks like Joe Lawrence got kicked up a groove in that 22 car. Watson with a good start, but Rafael Lazar drove it deep down into turn number 1. They're neck and neck halfway down the back straightaway. They'll charge into turn 3. Neither driver giving an inch, but Rafael Lazard slides up the track a little bit. That lost him some momentum. Here goes Brandon Watson to the lead. Jason Hathaway is third. Patrick LaPearl starting to flex some muscle as well as he... trouble in turn 2. Sean McGlynn goes around. A full 360, bounces off the wall. Ladies and gentlemen, what a job by these drivers. Rafael Lazard again gets the advantage down into the corner, but Brandon Watson smooth on the outside, takes the momentum, leads the way through 3 and 4. That is close quarters racing. Oh, trouble. Carson Hocevar around in turn number 2. Everybody up the track to take evasive action. Shea Gemmel way up the racetrack in that number 3. He really had to roll out of the throttle to keep it off the outside wall. Field set to go back to racing. Brandon Watson again on the outside. This time he's got a new teammate, roadmate, and Patrick LaPearl in the 91. They'll drag race down the front straightaway. Watson with a good start. Let's see how deep LaPearl drives it into 1. Wow, what a run on the inside for Patrick LaPearl. Door to door down the backstretch. To give up the inside groove, he is able to really maintain a lot of speed up on the high side. Behind them, Jason Hathaway, Kyle Reed, Bubba Pollard, in a row. 4th, 5th, and 6th. 7th is J.R. Fitzpatrick. Right behind him is Brian Campbell, as that time Jason Hathaway got up out of the groove coming off of turn number 4. Reed drives to the inside. Give Kyle Reed that 4th position. Bubba Pollard says, I'll take this opening, and drives around the bottom of Jason Hathaway. He's going to try to make a pass on Reed as well on the front stretch. Bubba Pollard challenging for that 4th spot. Although, as I say that, he's putting up one hell of a fight with J.R. Fitzpatrick in the 84. Fitzpatrick down low, but Jason Hathaway not too... Oh, Fitzpatrick sideways in 2. What a save by J.R. Fitzpatrick. Brian Campbell drives to the inside to avoid making contact, but J.R. Fitzpatrick all but spun out in turn 2 and kept on going. Nice job for the driver from Cambridge, Ontario.
And, of course, that battle up front, Lazard now down the backstretch and into turn 3. He's right in the tire tracks of Brandon Watson. Watson will swing it up high off turn 4. Lazard about a half a lane lower. Can't get enough of a run. He'll tuck back in line. It's still Watson, your leader. Lazard second. They fire off turn 2 again. Rafael Lazard could have the better car of the 2. Just has to figure out a way to get around the 9 of Brandon Watson. Maybe he's going to make his move in traffic. Looks to the outside of Watson. We got a challenge for the lead. Oh, we got a spinner on the front stretch. The 33 goes around. Everybody lifts, and that might have saved Brandon Watson when it comes to keeping the lead.
Clean start through 1 and 2. Rafael Lazard again with that great run is side by side with Watson. They both pilot down into the corner side by side through 4. Watson with a good run on the high side. Edging ahead of Rafael Lazard in the 20. Back through the field. Nobody seems to be getting too out of shape from the oil dry. Watson resumes the lead. Patrick Lepero battling with Bubba Pollard side by side for the 3rd spot. Brian Campbell in the race for 4th with Kyle Reed there side by side. Whoa, Shea Gemmel way to the inside. Not sure if he got out of shape or if J.R. Fitzpatrick got out of shape. A 3-0 trouble down in turn number 1. Fitzpatrick does a nice job to avoid Caden Lapsevich, has to come to a dead stop at that 76. Oh, goodness, that cost him about 20 positions.
We'll see what happens. He's going to restart from 7th out front. It's Brandon Watson and Lazard on the front row. So far, it's been Watson who's been able to hold that lead through 1 and 2, and he will again off turn 2. Lazard staying right there. Pollard in the mix as well. It's a scramble down into 3. Now Lazard sticks that nose on the bottom. He's got Pollard right underneath the spoiler. Pollard is going to cost him a spot as the 47 of Campbell gets around the outside. That bottom lane still open for Lazard, and he's still wheel to wheel with the 9 of Watson.
Out in front, what a battle. Brandon Watson on the outside of Rafael Lazard. Watson sliding up the racetrack. He could lose the lead for the first time tonight. Lazard dips out in front. This time by, it's 90 laps complete. 90 laps complete. Lazard is out in front. Now Bubba Pollard looking for the 2nd position. Pollard to the inside of Watson. Behind them, it's Brian Campbell in the 47. Jason Hathaway in the 3. The top 5 have pulled away, and now Shea Gemmel to the inside of Patrick Lepero. 92 laps are complete. Carson Hocevar in the 14 after his early problem is making gains through the field as well. What a show. Hocevar up to 6th in that number 14. Pressure down into turn number 1. Lakin tried to squeeze him down. Lapsevich should have none of it. Whoa, and he goes sliding off of turn number 2. Yellow flag flies as Steve Lakin gets turned around off of turn number 2. And the signal's been given, and the teams may go to work. So you can expect 4 tire changes all the way up and down pit road. Fuel, they're not going to lose or gain positions in the pits. Slowly through 3 and 4. Look at Rafael Lazard up high on the bank, and he'll carve it down the hill off of turn number 4. Side by side at the stripe. And we are back underway. Rafael Lazard gets a great launch from the outside through 1 and 2. He'll lead the way down the back straightaway.
Trayton Lapsevich, the youngster from Grimsby, on the outside. Now Lepero again looking 3 wide to the inside down into 1. Jacques Lepero is going to stick it in there. Contact between Lapsevich and the 3 of Gemmel. They're still scrambling off turn 2. Now Fitzpatrick gets into it as well. Gemmel to the inside of Lapsevich, and the big winner, Jacques Lepero. That bold move down into 1 picked him up 2 spots.
Hocevar with a good run to the outside. Trying to clear the 3 of Jason Hathaway down into turn number 1, but Hathaway drives it deep. Brandon Watson up there as well. So Hathaway up to 4th, Brandon Watson back to 5th.
Brady Smith mixed up 2 into the wall down there in turn 1. Looks like Matt Box, one of the cars involved.
Rafael Lazard in that red number 20 up on the outside. Wow, look at the accordion. Kyle Reed gets sideways. Weston Griffith Jr. in the 33 gets sideways. The back of the field really checked up on that one. Oh, trouble in 4. Oh, and again they stack up going down into turn number 3. The field bunched together in 4. Lazard with a good run. Carson Hocevar all but pushing him down into turn number 1. Lazard leads the way down the back straightaway. Hocevar trying to battle with Bubba Pollard side by side. Through 3 and 4 they go, racing for the 2nd position. Bubba Pollard and Carson Hocevar still racing side by side for the 2nd spot, right behind the 20 of Rafael Lazard. A 3-car breakaway. Jason Hathaway a few car lengths back of that with Brandon Watson right on his tail. Now Bubba Pollard challenging for the lead. He'll go to the inside. Lessard down the back straightaway, side by side for the top spot. 3 wide through 3 and 4. Kyle Reed on the inside. Lapsevich in the middle. Jordan Sims had to back out of that a little bit. I don't think that was going to end well, so the driver of the 47 gives up a couple of spots out in front. Bubba Pollard has taken the lead over Raphael Lessard, and now Carson Hocevar to the inside of Lessard for second.
Raphael Lessard and Hocevar still battling for second. The big pack is off turn 4. What a scramble. 2-3 wide McGlynn in the middle. Almost some contact with him and the 73 of Powell. They're not done. Now here comes Caden Lapsevich. Lapsevich took to the inside. McGlynn will bury it to the bottom underneath Cole Powell.
Hocevar relentlessly pursuing the 20 of Raphael Lessard. He tucks back in line for about half a lap. He'll drive to the inside again, get a nose underneath, coming off of turn number 2. Deeper in the field, the 3 of Jason Hathaway starting to drift back just a little bit, being overtaken by Brian Campbell in that 47. Right behind them is Patrick LaPearl in the 91, the 84 of J.R. Fitzpatrick. Out in front, Pollard opening up by 2, 3 car lengths down the back straightaway. Now Trayton Lapsevich in the 32 will try to make a move on the 3 of Jason Hathaway. Hathaway been overtaken in the last couple laps by Brian Campbell, J.R. Fitzpatrick, and Patrick LaPearl. And now Trayton Lapsevich going to drive to the inside of the 3 car down into the corner. Looks like Hathaway just can't keep that car to the bottom. It slides up the racetrack. Hocevar to the inside of the race leader coming off of turn number 2. Pollard holding true to that outside line. He is committed to work on the lap traffic on the high side as Hocevar trying to poke a nose, looking for a spot to make an advance. Right now, he'll run right on the rear deck lid of the race leader down into turns 1 and 2.
Bubba Pollard and Hocevar in heavy lap traffic. It's the live wire. Nick Getz going a lap down as Pollard stick handles through that outside lane. Here's a challenge down into 1 for the top spot now. Hocevar to the inside of Pollard, but he has to lift as they work around the 36 of Dave Elliott. Now Brandon Verhoeven up next. We'll see if Hocevar's car has come to life. If he's going to take a shot at Pollard when they clear the 7 to be the best time. They got a long ways to go before they get to the next lapper. Can Hocevar put a move on Bubba Pollard and take the lead?
He goes into the turn. Oh, yellow is out. Yellow is out. We've got one around down in turn number 4. I believe that's Jason Hathaway in the Kubota Choco Authentics number 3. Pollard hard on the loud pedal, but Hocevar up to the challenge. Pollard to clear him down the front straightaway. Close the door into turn number 1. Bubba Pollard with a great restart. He will lead the way. Whoa, Brian Campbell gets a wiggle from Patrick LaPearl. They are 3 wide with Trayton Lapsevich on the outside in the 32. He will check up just a little bit to allow that to sort out. It is definitely go time with Bubba Pollard out in front. Hocevar second. Brandon Watson fighting his way, trying to take over third from Raphael Lessard. They're 3 wide down into turn 3. Brian Campbell doing battle with Patrick LaPearl down the back straightaway. Campbell on the inside. That's a battle for 6th spot. J.R. Fitzpatrick up to 5th. 180 laps complete. There is 20 laps remaining. Whoa, trouble. Nick Getz around between 3 and 4, and he has pointed the wrong direction. Driver's side exposed. Well, that will bring out a yellow. 179 laps complete. Outside lane has been the preferred lane choice for the race leaders. Oh, Bubba Pollard got a good restart this time up on the outside. He hesitated, waited as long as he could, and now Raphael Lessard up alongside Carson Hocevar. Side by side, they race for 4th. Behind them, Brandon Watson and Patrick LaPearl. But they're stacked up again right behind him, and the battle is on for 2nd. Hocevar working the inside. Raphael Lessard up high as Bubba Pollard stretches that advantage. Raphael Lessard has the spot. Carson Hocevar working the inside of the racetrack. He'll try to get a run through turn 2. Lessard able to pin him down the racetrack. Brandon Watson all by himself in fourth. Not quite close enough to pressure the situation back there in that number 9 machine. And fifth, they're still battling. Whoa, Patrick LaPearl up the track. Looked like Brian Campbell might have given him a wiggle there in turn 4.
Now Campbell looks to the outside of LaPearl where there was nothing there. It's still Fitzpatrick on the bottom. He's not done with Jacques LaPearl off turn 2. Fitzpatrick battles back on the bottom. Campbell trying to figure out who to follow. 37 right there in the mix as well.
The best battle on the racetrack, as good as that race is for second, is still for the 5th spot. Brian Campbell looked to be thinking about going right up the middle of J.R. Fitzpatrick in the 84 and the 91 of Patrick LaPearl. He thought better and pulls back in line. Whoa, trouble in 1. We got a car up the racetrack. That is Raphael Lessard in the 20. He'll bring it down pit lane. No big surprise, the right front tire flat. You could tell from the sparks coming out of that 20 machine that was the problem. Let's see if Carson Hocevar has anything for the race leader. They get on the loud pedal. Oh, and it was definitely a good start for the outside row. Bubba Pollard out in front. Patrick LaPearl to second in the 91. They're 3 wide deep in the field. Drayton Lasovich hung up on the outside groove. Hocevar piles it deep into turn number 3 in that 14 machine, battling for the second spot. Pollard again out in front. 194 laps complete. This time by, it'll be 5 laps to go. Bubba Pollard out in front. The battle for third is side by side. Campbell on the inside, LaPearl up on the outside. Behind them is J.R. Fitzpatrick alongside Brandon Watson. Those were the 2 that settled it last night in our late model show. 2 remain. 2 sticks in the air this time for Bubba Pollard out in front. And what a race we've got for third. Brian Campbell slides up in front of the 91 of LaPearl to take that third position. And now J.R. Fitzpatrick will drive to the inside of the 91 with Brandon Watson poking on the outside. Bubba Pollard out in front. The white flag is in the air for the driver from Sonoya, Georgia in the 26 car. One more time around. Pollard with the lead. Hocevar too little too late in the 14. Unless something happens to Pollard, the $50,000 is headed to Georgia. Side by side for the 4th position, J.R. Fitzpatrick on the inside of the 91, Patrick LaPearl. But coming out of turn number 4, the Canadian Short Track Nationals to Bubba Pollard. Carson Hocevar second. Brian Campbell rounds out the top 3. We can expect to see you back to defend this title next year.
I tell you what, he's making it awful hard not to come back for the next couple of years. So I think you'll get a lot more Southern guys come up, and this is going to be one heck of a show, one heck of an event. Keep building it, fans keep coming out, and hopefully we can get back across the border.
We're a little bit better than him after 10 laps, but I just got hosed there, and it just on me. Like I just screwed up on the restart a few times, and that really just cost us there. I mean, if that would have went green, I think we definitely would have had a shot with them when we were working through lap traffic. But KBR development definitely gave me a heck of a piece tonight, and definitely feel like we put on a heck of a show here.
What do you think of the facility? Crossing the border can be a little bit of a hassle, but we're sure glad you guys did it. How'd you enjoy your first trip?
Oh, this place is freaking awesome, man. Like the crowd's awesome. Like you also show so much support. The crowd was amazing. Hopefully we can get it bigger next year, and hopefully we're one spot better.
Yeah, it's just like a slinky all night. We go up to third, back to ninth, up to fifth, back to 10th. So we struggled, and it was a hard-fought third, and we'll take it.
Yeah, give him a round of applause. Everybody out there worked for what you got tonight. Those restarts, nobody was able to get away. You always seemed like you were battling outside, inside. You had to make do with wherever you wound up on the restarts because it really didn't seem too easy to get out of the groove that you were in.
Oh, that's true, and with the motors the way they are and the tires the way they are, everybody is so close and so even. You had to really battle, and it was fun. It was wheel the car for 200 straight laps. There's no give. There's no let up. You qualified for 200 laps, so awesome race.